I'm Simon Sinek, and you're watching Behind the Brand with Brian Elliott. This is why I'm a huge fan of sort of peer organizations or mentor relationships. It's why having good friends is important. The friends who tell us we're crazy, you'll never be able to do it, you're nuts, why don't you go back and get a job? We start doubting ourselves. But the friends who say, you inspire me. I don't have the courage that you have to cut the cord like that and go do it. That's amazing. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it, right? It's those friends. It's those relationships. Any successful CEO, any successful leader will talk about their mothers, their fathers, their friends, their wives, their husbands that stuck with them, believed in them. Those relationships are absolutely essential. You can have a limited success if you go it alone, and I think it's an unhealthy success. There are leaders who do it, but they take a huge number of pills in the morning, and depression is a large part of their being. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, and maybe there's a bit of a trial period, like kind of breaking through the atmosphere. You have to kind of get up there first and then break through, kind of a proving period, even to your support system. I mean, I've talked to Seth Godin, and he said at first, my wife was not supportive, and neither was her mother. And, to me, I kind of read through the lines, and I kind of felt his pain a little bit, because
I guarantee you Seth had someone in his life at that time or previously who liked him for his nuttiness and for his big ideas.
Yeah, but I guess I don't want to paint that in a negative picture. I think, kind of this force, right? Like that's sort of part of it. Like the Disneys or the Martin Luther King Jr.'s who they had their naysayers and people who didn't believe, the non-believers.
Sure.
That kind of created the friction along with their support system, those who believed in them, and just their pure passion /
Well, there's a stubbornness to being a visionary, right? There's a stubbornness to it, and I think I share that stubbornness. I think one of the things that stubbornness does is it instigates or catalyzes a resourcefulness. Like it's almost a fetish, when somebody tells me, it can't be done. Give me 20 minutes,
right. I know that there's maybe not a roadmap or step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to how do I get courage, but I know that a lot of people watching this show, they're entrepreneurs and they're in the struggle, right? You and I know the struggle.
I've been there.
Right.
Go back there on a regular basis.
I'm there right now,
yeah.
Right? Like every day is a street fight, and so that's also part of it, right? Like that's what Kanye was singing about, right? Whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and all of these things, which are absolutely true. This opposition is necessary in everything that we do. That you can't have success without the failure. You can't have the right without some of the wrongs along the way.
Well, I'm a great believer that entrepreneurship is not necessarily. And by the way, I'm a great believer that being an entrepreneur and being a small business owner aren't the same thing. Like there are entrepreneurs inside large companies, and not all small business owners are entrepreneurs. They're just small business owners. Right? Being an entrepreneur is being a problem solver, and you find them in all kinds of places. Richard Branson's an entrepreneur, does not own a small business, right? But I don't for one second believe that entrepreneurship is necessarily better or worse than having a job. It's about balance, and it's the kind of lifestyle that we choose to live. Entrepreneurs absolutely have the highest of highs, but they also have the lowest of lows. That's the balance. Whereas if you have a stable corporate job, your lows just aren't as low as an entrepreneur, but neither are your highs. And so both equations are balanced. And so I think when people romanticize entrepreneurship or quitting to start their own business, they romanticize the joy of the highs, and some of them don't expect the intensity of the lows. And as you said yourself, the most successful entrepreneurs that you and I have both met, all of them have either scraped or hit rock bottom. And I think that's one of the things that makes us, myself included, I think that's one of the things that makes us less afraid of it.